Hey. So, I filmed a fun little video showing how I make pho. Well, it's kind of shallow because I ate most of it, but you see it boiling. I learned throughout the years from helping my mama in the kitchen, and everybody makes it a little differently, but the base recipe is pretty much the same. So you guys will see me doing everything from shopping for the ingredients in the supermarket. So I'm sorry for the bouncy camera work as I'm trying not to look like a total weirdo. And then you'll see me cook it, and then you'll see how I pack it for like lunch and stuff. I hope some of you find this helpful, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and don't be mean, please. Thank you.
Okay, so here I'm at Shoprite. I'm looking for chicken, and ooh, 99 cents a pound for that whole pack. I think I kept that. I look for drumsticks, or I look for the whole chicken so you can get a bunch of different cuts. $11.02, that's pretty expensive. I typically spend less than $10 on chicken when I make it for pho. So here I'm just shopping around. Let's see what we have. I don't like wings, not enough meat. Chicken breast, too dry. Chicken thighs, the meat doesn't hold up so well after a while. And let's see, this pack of chicken leg quarters, 89 cents a pound. That whole thing is $3.21. So I believe I kept that, but let's see what else we have available. A whole chicken for $12.37, over $2 a pound. Goodbye. Okay, thighs, that's pretty all right, but whatever. Whole chicken, $6.71, that's pretty good. Chicken breast, not interested. So I think I kept the leg quarters and then the pack of drumsticks from the intro. That was 99 cents a pound. That's $1.39. Bye. Okay, so here I'm getting chicken broth. I don't have a preference for the broth. I just go with the cheapest one, and I try to get actual real broth and not just chicken flavored water. So I believe I got the $1.88 one. So terrible transition into the Asian supermarket. I typically get my meat in American supermarkets, and then I'll get the veggies, the herbs, the spices, the condiments in the Asian supermarket. So here I'm getting bean sprouts and scallions, which I believe are 2 for $1, and the bean sprouts I believe are 89 cents a pound. So let's see. Oh, not sure. Okay, so now I'm getting basil. And there's another herb that I forgot to get that's also for pho. It's like a long leaf one, but you can look that up. So I get lime here, that's 3 for $1. I need ginger as well, that's a nice looking chunk. And then I get a big fat white onion. You can get a bag of onions if you'd like. The pho noodles, they're $1.39 a bag, so I stock up on that. And then I get the spice pack to flavor the broth. So let's see, $1.99 for that one, $1.79 for the exact same one, but 20 cents cheaper, so of course I go with that. And the condiments, like the hoisin sauce and the fish sauce, since I already have those, I didn't want to buy it just for the sake of the video. So here I have my chicken, my broth, the basil, the onion, the ginger, the spice pack, the noodles, the lime, the scallion, and the bean sprouts. So I have all my ingredients in my big old pot, which I fill with cold water and start to boil it. I peel the onion, and then I char it on a gas range. If you have an electric range, I don't know what to do, but if you have a gas range, just plop the onion and the ginger right on there and have the flame on a medium high, medium low, sorry. So you want to put the chicken in right as you're boiling the water, just like potatoes, so that way it'll cook evenly, because if you put it in while it's boiling, the outside would cook and the inside would still be raw. So I'm just plopping those right in there. Okay, water covers it. Right now I'm checking on my onion and my ginger, so that's charring nicely, and then I flip the onion as well, get a nice even char. So yeah, I remember I had a tripod, so no more shaky video. I open the satchel, I pour all the contents of the spice pack in the satchel, and then I tie it up. Thank God they have this now, because they did not have this when I was growing up making pho with my mom, so it was just flying loosey-goosey all in the broth. So annoying, but no more. Okay, so now the water boils. You want to skim the top gross meat gunk layer off of the broth and continue to do that intermittently throughout the time that the chicken is cooking. Okay, so it looks to be done. So now I'm just removing the chicken from the broth so that the chicken doesn't overcook, and then I'm pouring in the chicken broth. And oh, looks like my onion and my ginger have charred nicely, so I'm just plopping that in the broth as well as the satchel. So I wait until after I remove the chicken to put all that stuff in there. So now the broth will have a chance to develop. I have my chicken out, so I remove the meat from the chicken and I put the bones back into the broth so that the broth can develop even more flavor. And I'm continuing to skim off that gross meat layer. Ugh. So throw that away later. So there's all my condiments. I skipped too fast, but that's MSG, just a little sprinkle, and the fish sauce. You want to flavor that to taste. Now you discard the chicken skins, I forgot to mention, and you keep the meat and you put the bones back in. So that's nice and covered. Now I am going to prepare my noodles, pour it all out into a bowl, and I'm just trying to separate them a little bit before I put it in water. So now I'm just filling a pot with water for the noodles, and while the pot of water is boiling for the noodles, I am preparing to cut my scallions. So I wash them, I chop them up into tiny, the thinnest piece as possible, and now I am cutting up the lime as well. You want to get rid of that middle rind so that it's easier to squeeze the pieces. And I am just washing the basil now. I keep it on the stem and I put the noodles in there. They don't take that long to cook. Honestly, it's only like a few seconds. So you want to check the consistency. Can't be more than like 15 seconds, honestly. So I got my noodles out. They look great. And got my bean sprouts, just giving them a nice quick rinse. And now I'm individually preparing bowls of pho. So I take the chicken, I put it in a smaller pot. I take broth from the giant pot and put it into the smaller pot. So that's a great little method for when you want to prepare individual bowls or servings of pho. So I'm putting the noodles in, the scallions in. So the thinner you cut them, the easier it will be for them to cook. So I have my boiling broth and chicken. Oh yeah, that's awesome. So then I put a little bit more scallion because I love scallions. And then let's see, what else do I do? Oh, the basil, of course. Yes. So then this helps too, because if you refrigerate the chicken, then you can cook the chicken in the pot of boiling soup, so that way your chicken is hot and the soup is hot and everything's hot and delicious. Oh my god, I'm getting hungry just looking at this right now. Oh yes. Great. So now I'm going to show you how I pack it to go. Now I personally don't eat sriracha or hoisin, but when I pack it, say for Jesse, I will put that in little shot cups and then in the little Chinese containers to go. So I'll pack the noodles and the sauce separately. I'll pack the meat and the broth together, and then the scallions as well. So what I'll do is, and then I'll pack the fresh herbs separately as well. So when I pack this to go to work, I microwave the broth and the noodles separately, and then I put the noodles into the broth after the broth has heated up in the microwave. So right now I'm just wrapping up the giant little ladle and packed everything nicely and neatly away. And that is how I pack it to go. Okay, so reviewing the receipts, I spent $11.46 at Shoprite for the chicken and the chicken broth. And at the Asian supermarket, excluding the condiments I already had, I spent $10.04. So less than $22 for that big ass pot of pho. That's what's up.